people. And I really love sharing this passion. On the side, I'm also a strategic advisor for a number of companies and working as an executive coach and mentor. So that was about me. Now let's jump to what's really interesting for us today. Vision, mission, values, and impact. So as Daniel said, today is really about why. So we're going to work on your strategic framework, the main reason why you started your company. And the main reason is intent. You have to be driven to be successful in business. And this drive, we're really going to go into it today. So we're going to cover two aspects of the drive. We're going to dive into the vision, mission, values of your business. And then in the second part of today's session, we are going to look at the impact element. So trying to see what positive aspects you're bringing to the world. These are the key questions that I want to cover today. Which aspirational goals are you pursuing with your business? Which purpose is your business serving and through which actions? Which values are driving decision-making and behaviors? Are you serving any underserved groups, providing positive externalities, driving societal change, maybe supporting climate change mitigation or adaptation? What I mean by that is, does your business have a positive impact? And then, if it does, how are you monitoring those actions and this impact? And are you communicating about it? So by the end of the session, this is the expected outcome. So I want you to walk away from today's session in an hour and a half and to have a draft of your clear vision, a draft of your mission statement, a draft of your driving values. I also want you to understand how impact can help you drive the long-term growth of your business, how to measure and manage impact, and then see which SDGs, and we're going to dive into it later, which SDGs you might be serving. So again, this is how today's session will be structured. Two parts. First part about vision, mission, values. Second part about impact and SDGs. First part. So define your raison d'être. This is the first French lesson for everyone. Raison d'être is why you're in business. So let's start with you, actually. What do the notions of vision, mission, and values now at this time mean to you? Can you please provide a few answers in the chat box? And Christina will help me read those elements, hopefully. So have you already thought about your vision? Have you already thought about your mission and values? Is it something you are acquainted to? It would be really helpful if you could tell, really quickly in the chat box, so we know where to start from. So I give a couple minutes. I'm not sure if anybody's actually typing. Okay, seems like
not for the moment.
People are a bit reserved and shy today. So it means maybe I need to start really talking about it and explaining what it is. So the vision, why, okay, great, is what you want to see your business. Okay, I love the first one. Our vision is where we're going to go as a business, our aspirations. And then Hanan is going really into details. Okay, vision presents the future I aim to create for my business. So let's dive into that. Your vision is your North Star. So this is what's going to drive you as long as you're in business. Your vision shouldn't be something that changes. Your vision really is the mere reason why you decided to go into business. Your mission is your compass, is how you're going there. So you really have to try and imagine that you're walking in the forest. You don't know where you're going. Then you have your North Star, you're following your North Star. And at the same time, you're having a compass helping you navigate the forest. This is the mission. And then you have a backpack, and in your backpack are your tools, and your tools are your values. This is going to help you decide how you do it. So defining your vision, mission, and values, it's the cornerstone of your strategic work. Whenever you hear someone saying, okay, we're going into a strategic framework or strategic design or strategic something, it means you're going to dive into your vision, mission, values, check that they're still defining your business, that they're the right ones. And it really is the foundation of your business, because it is going to help you decide what is for you and what is not for you. So let's start with the vision. So someone is struggling with value. Great, we'll go into that. So vision, as I said, I mean, the vision is the eye. So you're looking at something, you're looking in front of you, you're looking at the future. The vision, it's a guiding element. You're going to look at the horizon. It's long-term, it's both inspirational and aspirational. What is really important to understand about the vision is that it is not only what you're doing, but it's the desired future that your solution seeks to help achieve. What I mean by that, it goes beyond your business. The vision is what your business, in the sort of world that your business is going to help achieve. So your vision is the world after your business has been successful. I'll give you a couple of examples afterwards, but really the vision is beyond yourself. The mission is much more explanatory. So the mission is basically what you are doing. It's why you're in business, it's what you're going to do every day. It's the sort of work you're actually making. The mission typically is much longer than the vision. And it's really going to detail how you're conducting business. It states what the company is practically bringing to the world, and mission is guiding its strategic decisions. Again, afterwards, I'm going to give you very specific examples so you can make the difference between vision and mission. Sometimes people struggle about that, and it's normal. Sometimes companies actually mix the two and reverse the two, but really try to keep the idea of the eye. So vision is looking beyond yourself. Mission is what you're doing. It's really your book, your compass is what you're actually doing every day. Thank you for writing in the chat box. I can see that a lot of you are writing in the chat box. I'm not quite able to, read my slides and at the same time read the chat box, but we'll get to, actually, it's really good you're writing that, because we'll get to work afterwards together. This session is aimed at really providing with a practical way to define your vision, mission, values. And so whatever you're writing now in the chat box, it's really good because you're already actually working on what we're going to work together afterwards.
Agnes, let me know if you would like me to read out the answers as we go on, or if you prefer them, we can just get to them later.
If you find any, I mean, if you think that anything is supporting our discussion, please do. So I think vision represents the desired future state or ultimate goal to achieve in our business. and mission define specific purpose for the existence of our business. And so Tishome is or Marek, sorry, not sure, is explaining that to us, and I think this is very accurate. Now the problem, and I really understand that the problem is that beyond those words and beyond what I'm trying to explain, it's a bit difficult to gauge what it really means. And so that's why I want us to work today and to spend some time working. So you actually go back home, or you go back from this session, with something tangible. Sorry. So the values, once you have defined your future state, where you're going to go, the mission, so how you're going to go there, you usually have also values. So the core values are sort of how you're going to do it, what's going to help you decide what is for you and what is not for you. So when we talk about values, we really talk about the heart. We talk about beliefs, behaviors, attitudes, intentions, culture, way of doing things. So values, it's obviously bringing something emotional, and it's really going to be like a thief for you to decide, what to decide to keep and what you decide to let go. So it serves as a framework for practices, influences how the company operates and supporting decision making. So it's really about the how, the practices, the how. So let's now, I don't know if, so let me look at a few elements in the chat box. I can see values are the core principles that guide all actions and decisions of my business. Ruth, can you please let us know if you can give us an example when one of your values helped you decide what was for your business or not. So how you're actually practically using it. If you want to share that with us, that would be amazing. I'm just writing a few of them. My mission at Wutamu Comoros to supply hotels with high quality handmade, natural and vegan soap products. Our goal, okay, so the goal is to address the issue faced. So we'll look at that later, the goal. So my vision is to be a reference training institute in agribusiness in Madagascar. So maybe that's not a vision. We'll talk about that, Nina. Maybe that's actually your aspiration, but your vision would help you frame how your training business is helping create a better world for agribusiness. So it's looking at the agribusiness, what you've helped achieve for the agribusiness. Your vision would be that, rather than just centered on you. So let me give you an example. I'll give you an example that's taken from Madagascar, actually. And I really worked myself on this element. So it's the international school in Antananarivo, so the capital city of Madagascar. It's the American school. So back in 2018, we decided to revamp the vision, mission, values, because the school had been in business for 25 years. The vision, mission were very old. The wording was pretty bad. And it was really not, it didn't correspond to what the school was doing any longer. So it was wordy, long, not very accurate, and honestly, not an element that was providing some, energy to the business. So we decided to go into some strategic framework work, and at the end of this work, we decided on this vision: your best self for a better world. And I think this is really a good example. Why? Because as you can see, it is not centered on the school. So the school is not telling us, I want to be the best school in Madagascar, or I want to be the best American school in Africa. It's not saying that. The school is actually saying that the intention is to create better individuals to help shape a better world. So as an academic institution, it manages to reconcile its role in the world, so really driving people to support a more compassionate world, a better world. So really the idea is that the school is going to really focus on that. So it's not really going to focus on excellence or helping people make money. No, the idea for the school is to say, okay, our intention here is to work on impact. Better world is impact. And then it's still telling you your best self. So what does it mean? It means students are going to be supported to pull the best of themselves, but it's also helping teachers. It's also a commitment for teachers who are teaching in the school, even for parents, who are supporting their kids being students in the school. And so as you can see there, it's really not centered on the business or centered on the organization. It's really looking beyond and saying, okay, what sort of world am I dreaming about? And how am I contributing to this world? So Nina, if I go back to your example about training reference institute in agribusiness in Madagascar, the idea could be to look at the sort of agriculture you want to promote. So is it I don't know, more productive? Is it more environmental friendly? Is it providing food for for more people? So what sort of agriculture you wish to support, and then how your training institute is doing that. So is it providing, I don't know, supporting excellence or training excellence, or is it technical? Is your are you specific because you're really good at technicalities, and so is it really providing expert knowledge for I don't know, a wonderful world where everything gets to eat? So, but that's really that. It's really what you're looking at when you're going into business. Is that clear? Does that make sense when I say all that? Please let me know if you want other examples, if you want me to be more specific, or if what I say makes sense to all of you. Then the mission, so still keeping this this example of the American School of Antananarivo, after the strategic work, the mission was redesigned and was then defined as: we are an inclusive and caring community that embraces diversity, where nurture inquiry, integrity, and innovation to prepare for future challenges. So as you see, it's the present. So the vision is the future, the mission is the present. It's how you're doing things, what you are currently bringing to the world, what you're practically doing, and a little bit how you're doing it. There, what's interesting to see is that there's an emphasis on the community aspect of things, and there's an emphasis on nurturing inquiry. So what you get through this mission, beyond the idea of diversity, of care, which may tying more to values, what you really see is that the school is going to be a school where students are going to have to do a lot of work by themselves. Nurturing inquiry means what? Means doing research and really being involved in your studies. So through this mission statement, you also get to see how the school is actually supporting its dedication to create better selves. So to create the better individuals that they're saying that they're going to produce, they're going to use the way of inquiry and to push students to work together, community. Future challenges also means that, well, it's really rooted in the world today. Future challenges is what is probably climate problem, climate change, mitigation, elements like this. And so you know that the school is really going to focus on real problems. And then, and again, if, hope that's clear enough. And then the values. So values obviously is much more kind of, I guess, easy to understand. So in this cases, the school decided that the guiding values would be creativity, open-mindedness, inquiry, passion, and balance. There are 5 of them. It's quite a lot. Maybe, 3, 4, 5. Don't go beyond 4 or 5. 5 is already a lot. So there we go. I hope that's helpful. Please let me know in the chat box, and Christina, please let me know as well if you want more explanation, because now it's going to be time for you to actually work on it. So I would like to give each of you 3 minutes to work on your mission. In order to help you do that, I have written a couple of supporting questions. The first one is, when you started your business, which world or which dream did you have in mind? What sort of world you want to help achieve with your product, service, solution? So now, please take 3 minutes, do this. I mean, of course, you're not going probably to manage to find your mission, your vision in 3 minutes, but please do work on it for 3 minutes. It's going to help you lay the groundwork to actually manage to do it. So let me shut up. Write things in the chat box if you need, and then we'll meet again at 05.
Agnes, do you think you could also just translate these questions for them into French for the...
Yes, sure. Okay,
Yeah.
so now the English speaking part, you work because you're going to be asked fast. Maintenant, je vais donc en français. Si vous avez des problématiques, si vous n'avez pas tout compris, n'hésitez pas à écrire dans la chat box. L'idée ici, c'est que vous puissiez commencer à travailler sur votre vision et d'avoir un brouillon de votre vision. Donc, je veux vous donner 3-4 minutes pour travailler sur votre vision, commencer à avoir des éléments. À nouveau, la vision est un élément court. C'est la vision du monde que votre business permet de développer. So, l'idée, c'est quoi? C'est de marquer dans votre vision comment votre business, en fait, quel monde votre business va aider à créer. Voilà. Alors, si vous avez des questions, if you need more elements, please do write in the chat box, but intentionally, I'm going to shut up. Okay, I'm going to start reading a few elements I see in the chat box, and thank you for sharing what you worked on. So Solange says successful businesses in Portuguese-speaking African countries that contributes for increased life quality. Okay. Then Maria says, when I started my business, I had in mind to reduce waste and reuse the fruits. Then Hanan says, the vision was to see every girl has access to sanitary products as she goes to school and reduce numbers of school dropout because lack of access to menstrual products. I would be interested in Hanan to know why you're putting was and not is. So why the vision was? Is it still your vision? Please do. Has it changed? Please do let me know. Okay, Hanan, vision is producing a safe, comfortable, safe, and eco-friendly product to our community. So, have you changed from the initial vision, which was centered on girls, or is it still the same products? Mbulatin says, my vision is to elevate local craftsmanship by creating high quality sustainable furniture that empowers the community, promotes gender inclusivity, and drives local economic growth in rural areas in Madagascar. Okay, let's try to keep a couple of them, and I'll ask the rest of you to comment. So Grace says, to create a future where every child has equal access to excellent education to thrive in Ajigunle. If you want to react to this one, please to the vision of Grace, please do. Another one, okay, Hanan says same product. So let's take the vision of Grace, and let's take the vision of Mbulatin. My vision is to elevate local craftsmanship by creating high quality sustainable furniture that empowers the community, promotes gender inclusivity, and drives local economic growth in rural areas in Madagascar. I'll ask you, lady, please, if you want to comment on those two visions. The idea is to really obviously be uber kind to each of you, but also be constructive. So what do you think about it? Is it clear? Is it too much? Is it not enough? What do you think about it? The idea for you and Mbulatin, Hanan, Mbulatin and Grace, I hope this is okay if I use your examples. But the idea really is for us to manage to understand together what it is about and to help us progress and design our vision. So what do you think about those two visions? So Mbulatin vision, again, elevate local craftsmanship by creating high quality sustainable furniture that empowers the community, promotes gender inclusivity, and drives local economic growth in rural areas in Madagascar. Do you want to let us know what you think about it? And if not, it's okay. I understand.
Okay, can we unmute and speak?
Yep.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Okay, so for Mbolatiana's vision, I think she delved a little bit into the mission because, where is it again? Oh, I think I just scrolled up a bit. Because she started telling us about the way she wants to achieve the vision. But it's good, but I think it's more or less like there's a mix. That's my own view. Then for Grace's own, I think to create a future where every child has equal access. Okay, I think this is quite it's quite spot on the point. But if you say thrive in Ajegunle, not everybody knows Ajegunle. So um, for me, I understand what she's saying because I'm Nigerian, but I feel like every other person here may not know what Ajegunle stands for. So that's it.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much. If anyone wants to talk as well, please do so. And otherwise, I will react. My perception, and again, we're just talking perception. What's the most important here is that what you're going to design today in the next few weeks for your vision, mission, values really connect to what you're doing and who you are. So the most important is that you feel that what you're going to develop lasts in the long run. So whatever we're sharing today, take it as a path, but not obviously not truth. Only you can know what your business is aiming to achieve and what resonates in your business. Nevertheless, I think it's two great examples. Why? Because I would agree with you, Adaeze. And Bulatin, your vision is very detailed. It's actually encompassing both the vision and the mission according to me. According to me again, it's just my opinion. So when you talk about elevating local craftsmanship, when you talk about driving economic growth in rural areas in Madagascar, you're talking about a world that you're looking at. So elevating, what I understand at least, is that your position is that through helping people being better being better at craftsmanship, you're going to support economic growth in rural areas in Madagascar. So this is really a vision. Now, when you're talking about sustainable furniture that's empowering the community, promoting gender inclusivity, and maybe talking about how it's sustainable, that's more about the mission. So in a way, you have the two elements here, according to me. Grace, for you, I think it's quite clear. As Adaeze says, it's really okay. It's straight to the point. Yes, I don't know where Ajegunle is, but at the end of the day, you're talking about your community. So if your community understands that, yeah, that's great. Maybe you could maybe you could make it a little more about the world than about really centered on children. But honestly, I think it's okay. And it's really a vision. Okay, I hope that's helped you, and thank you, Grace, and thank you, Bulatin, and I hope you're okay with us using your examples. Let's now look at so please, whatever you worked upon, you write it down, you keep it somewhere, you copy paste, you make a picture of it, you keep it on the side. I don't know if that's been communicated, but we are designing a pitch deck that you will keep with you, where all the elements that we get to talk about in the sessions we're conducting together will be. So the idea really at the end of this program is that you have your pitch deck, you can present to anyone, you have for yourself. And so whatever you are working on in the sessions, please use it. We're trying to do half of the work here, so you have little to do on the side by yourself afterwards. So please, whatever you noted down, put it on paper and keep it for you. It's going to be in this to go in this deck. We're now going to talk about your mission. Again, I'll just give you 3 minutes to think about it. Same idea. I don't think we're going to decipher, to go into details there. But the idea again is to prepare your work for afterwards. So please take 3 minutes to write down what your mission is. And the support section questions for this mission is, what is it that you are practically doing? Which customers, which target populations are you serving first and foremost? And is there anything special about the way you're doing your business? So vision was short, mission can be longer. I'll leave it to you to work on it. And let me say it in French. Donc maintenant, on va travailler sur la mission. Je vais vous donner encore 3 minutes pour écrire la mission que vous, voilà, que vous menez avec votre business. Les questions qui vont vous aider à répondre à ça, c'est qu'est-ce que vous faites, qu'est-ce que votre business, votre produit, votre service, quel service il rend de manière pratique. Donc, c'est comment vous faites votre business. Quels sont les clients et les cibles que vous, voilà, que vous ciblez particulièrement quand vous, enfin, voilà, avec votre business. Et puis, est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose de particulier, positif, quelque chose qui différencie votre façon de faire par rapport à d'autres? Donc, tout ça, ça va aller dans votre mission. Votre mission, ça va être comment vous faites votre business, quels produits, services vous proposez de manière très pratique et vraiment ce qui, votre façon de faire vous rend spécifique dans le business. Notez, alors je ne sais pas si vous avez compris, notez tout ce sur quoi on travaille aujourd'hui, parce qu'on vous a préparé une sorte de PowerPoint sur laquelle vous pourrez noter tous ces éléments et qui vont vous aider après pour votre business, pour peut-être aller lever des fonds, on ne sait pas. En tout cas, l'idée, c'est vraiment que vous ayez à la fin du programme des choses très concrètes. Et donc, le travail qu'on fait aujourd'hui, c'est vraiment le début de ce travail que vous allez mettre dans votre deck.
And ladies, please feel free to also type in French in the chat if you need to.
Oui, d'ailleurs, moi, ça m'aidera. N'hésitez pas à taper en français. Moi, ça me fera une diversion pour lire aussi en français. Okay, thank you so much, Solange, for sharing your vision, mission, values. I think this is, you know, this is a pretty, so I don't want to say good example because there aren't good or bad examples, but I think it makes a lot of sense. I think your vision is a vision, successful businesses in Portuguese-speaking African countries that lead to an increased community's life quality. Mission, we help businesses in Portuguese-speaking African countries succeed through a strategic and integrated marketing approach, and we train capable marketing professionals. Okay, we get it. And then the values, collaboration, leadership, passion, constant improvement, integrity. So that's a pretty good examples for you know for your colleagues here. So I think your mission you're in your mission, I think, most of you for what I'm achieving to read, it's pretty clear, and you're pretty, you really managed to really, grasp what you're doing and the specificity of it. Sorry. Gianni from the Comoros, So about Wutamu, I'm going to say that in French. Je trouve que c'est très bien ce que tu écris sur la première partie de ta phrase, en fait, c'est vraiment ta mission. Et quand tu dis we envision, là, il y a vraiment quelque chose de l'ordre de la vision. Donc, la deuxième partie de ta phrase, en fait, c'est vraiment ta vision avec peut-être la capacité de couper un peu pour que ce soit un peu plus, enfin, que c'est un peu plus d'impact. Mais c'est vraiment la deuxième partie, effectivement, c'est ce que tu proposes de faire. Donc, la focalisation va être sur les hôtels et sur ce qu'ils vont pouvoir retirer grâce à tes produits auprès de leurs propres clients. OK, so mon objectif premier est de servir thank you, merci Ruth. C'est très clair, un peu long peut-être, mais très clair aussi. And now I'm going to, I'm not going to read all of your elements. I think vision again is, you know, is much clearer because it's what you're doing, you know, day to day. So if you have any questions, again, please post them in the chat box. And please, again, whatever you noted down, you put it on the side so you can put it in the pitch deck afterwards. And now we're going to move to your values. So I'll give you 3 minutes again for the values. Try to find 3, 4, max 5. They have to be specific to you. So today, a lot of people will want to use the values of authenticity, of, you know, I don't know, passion, drive, you know, it's what's defining the world today in a way. And that's great, but please do find the values that make your business specific.
And Agnes, we already had some answers previously. I think Ruth from Alan said that for her, an example is integrity, by ensuring complete transparency about the ingredients she uses in her product. And then there was also Nalia Ratsimba who mentioned trust, professionalism, and efficiency for the cleaning services. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. The cleaning services was also, I think the vision was I can't find it, but I remember seeing it, and I thought the vision was really quite accurately laid out. I can't find it anymore. Okay, so Colofelo, thank you for your values. What we're going to try to look at here is really words. So what you can totally do is put a word and then dot and explain what it means. So for instance, you can put collaboration, collaborating with vendors in the collection of empty ink stoners and cartridges. Then you can put, you know, sustainability, recycling for sustainability, blah, blah, blah. But I would really encourage you to, in the values, to pick to pick 3, 4, 5 words, and then maybe explain how they apply to your business. That's actually really great. I think a really good exercise and something you can totally keep. So your values, you can explain what it means in your business. That's actually great. But you need, from what you've written down, you need to extract 3, 4 values that, you know, that you're really going to use or focus on. People, planet, partnerships, peace, and prosperity. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to stop here. Hopefully you managed to have 4 or 5 elements that define your business. I think what Kolofelo has done there is a really good, will really help you decide if it's the right values for you. What I mean there is that once you have picked up your 3 or 4 or 5 values, try to explain what it means to your business. If it's very specific, then great. It means you're spot on. If you can't really manage to write something down about what it means to your business, it means that it's not really a defining value. I've again note them down. I'll give you 1-2 minutes there. I've made the slide, so if you lack any inspiration, you could maybe find some inspiration on this, on the slide. So take 1 minute to look at it, maybe grab a few words and see if you want to try and use them. Donc, juste pour les personnes qui parlent français, voilà, j'ai mis quelques valeurs sur cette slide pour aider à ouvrir les idées. Parfois, on reste avec 3-4 valeurs, 10 valeurs. Bon, voilà, j'ai essayé d'en mettre un peu plus sur cette slide. On pourra peut-être la joindre à un deck, juste pour donner d'autres exemples et peut-être ouvrir les idées.
And Agnes, I don't know if you can see the slides. We had a few other answers. So Jihan from Comoros was talking about hotel soaps with values such as quality, ethics, natural, environmental responsibility, and wellness. And then Hanan commented safety, comfort, affordable, and eco-friendly as values.
Yeah.
And Mereg as well, who says their core values are innovation, quality, sustainability, empowerment, and collaboration.
And I hope you see all of you how we get, so even though we don't have in mind the business of all our friends on the chat, I hope you can see how it really helps you think about not necessarily the product, but who the target audience is. For instance, if I take Hanan's values, safety, comfort, affordability, and eco-friendly, you get a lot. Then affordability is really a good indication on who the target audience is. Eco-friendly tells you about how the business is being conducted. So, you know, what resonates here is really caring, security, and affordability for the customer, for the client. So we get a lot from the values. It's really not, I want to really emphasize the fact that it's not wishy-washy. It's really defining for your business. And then because you've done this work of putting it, you know, thinking about it, it will also define what you decide to do or not. So those are really very important elements. If you're true to your values, you'll see that some things in business you won't do because they don't correspond to what you want to do. So it's really a way to guide your path. Authenticité, transparence, intégrité, et éco-responsabilité. So we'll stop there for this part of the vision, mission, values. If you have questions, this is the moment to ask them. We heard something. I don't know if that was intentional or not. So you can post your questions here. Christina will help us get them if you have some. Otherwise, we'll jump to the second part of the session. So second part of the session is about impact. So now you have your vision, mission, values. You know which world you want to help design and how you're going to do that. Now it's time to look at what you're doing around as you are conducting your business. So I put some acronyms here. As always, the world is full of acronyms. You probably know what SDG means. SDG stands for Sustainable Development Goals. And IMM, which you might not know about, is impact, measurement, and management. So it's really the idea of being true about impact, and we'll talk about that.
Agnes, there are no questions in the chat, just another one of our ladies, Maria, also commented on the values, emphasizing excellence, empathy, passion, quality, integrity, care, and honesty, but no questions besides that, so I think we can move forward.
Okay, perfect. And thank you all again for writing down your contributions. And again, you know, please keep them for you. I mean, write them so you have this element for you. It's really your your meat. So why does impact matter? Impact matter because it has your effect on the world. It's what you're actually doing. And today, you know, maybe in the 80s or 90s, people didn't care about it, but today it's a crucial aspect in business. The way you're conducting your business and what consequences it has on the world is cornerstone. Second element, why is it important? Because it can be a driver. It can be an enabler. And what we call a second bottom line. A second bottom line, what does it mean? Your bottom line, what we call bottom line, is your financial results. So the money that your business is making. This is the way to assess business, because if you want to survive, you need to make money. That's it. Simple as that. So this is what we call a bottom line. Today, you know, and it's been maybe 20 years, we are very often talking about a second bottom line, and that's really about the impact. So in a way, your first bottom line could be the financial bottom line, and your second bottom line is like the human bottom line. So let's talk about the SDGs. The SDGs are the Sustainable Development Goals. This today is the key reference framework for impact. So, you know, for decades, people were talking about impact, but without a clear reference to talk about it and to exchange around impact. I'll spare you the history, but you know, there's been a few frameworks designed, blah, blah, blah. Now, for 10 years, maybe a little longer than that, UNDP, so the United Nations, has managed to pull out this framework that is really now the reference framework for impact. It's interesting. Why? Because it allows anybody on the planet to exchange about impact. So someone doing business in North America, in South Australia, in Indonesia, in Malawi, know how they're contributing to the world. We can quickly go through the 17 SDGs. So there's no poverty, zero anger, I hope, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation, infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions, and partnerships for the goals. So you can see that there's a mix of economic and social elements about gender equality, about education, about health, about climate mitigation, and then a lot about infrastructure as well and development. So, as I said, the SDGs today are a universal framework which allows people to align and have these conversations. It's also contributing to collectively adding everybody's actions and see how they're really contributing to a goal. What I really wanted to make clear today is that we need to be true about impact, because the risk of what we call impact washing is great. So, you know, it's not because if I look back at those elements, it's not because you're, for instance, not because you're using solar panels that necessarily you can say that you're doing 13 climate action. No, you're not. Each and every of those SDGs have very specific definitions, which you can find on the internet very easily. And to say that you're contributing to a goal doesn't mean that you're remotely, you know, having an action there. No, it means that you're really contributing to a goal. It's very precise and it's actually very intentional. So if you are, you know, providing quality education, yes, obviously you are contributing to SDG number 4. Maybe because you're going to provide very affordable education, you are going also to serve goal number 10, reduced inequalities. But if you have, it's not because 50% of your crowd are girls that you're supporting gender equality, unless you have a very specific action to go and educate girls. So it's really the way to think about it. And I think it's very important to be true about this reference. Why? So why is it important for you to have a strategy for impact? It's important for you because I mean, you're all, you know, you're all working in developing countries or emerging countries, and unfortunately, yes, there's a sort of, or fortunately, actually, yes, there's a responsibility that goes with it. We're all ladies here, so we know that, you know, maybe it's a little more difficult for ladies to go into business than men. I mean, we all have a responsibility, and actually serving it is just, you know, part of your identity. But beyond that, why is it important for you to have a strategy for impact? Because most likely it's going to be very important today for your customer. So it's also, you know, talking about impact is also serving your business and your bottom line, so your financial return, as simple as that. Your customer today expects you to have a positive action on the world. And if you're going to have a negative action on the world, it's very likely to, or she's very likely to go away and see someone else. Why is it important again? For your team. Today, if you really want to attract talents, you're going to have to communicate on your values, to let them understand what sort of company you are, what sort of world you're working for. And it's going to be a very important element of talent management and retention. Then it's important for your stakeholders, so people in the community, your beneficiaries, you know, the wider world. Maybe your investors, if you have investors. So the way you're doing your business, if you need money at some point, if you need financing, might attract specific pockets of investors based on how you're doing your business. And then, as I said, it's important for you. Again, be true. Please be true about what you're doing. State what you're really impacting. So now you have those elements about what you're doing. So we're going to do the you know, the little work again afterwards, looking at SDGs. But the idea is that, okay, you're going to think about your impact, which SDGs you're really serving. Then, this is the IMM part. You are going to have a system in place to monitor and measure your impact. You cannot say you're serving an impact, you're serving a goal, if you are not able to specify the goal, to have KPIs associated with the goal, and to tell how you're collecting data about the KPIs. So basically the goal is the great idea, and then the IMM is really how you're going to prove that you're doing it. Again, let's take an example. It's a quick one though. I just went to something quite business oriented, M-Pesa, mobile banking money, same as MVOL for people in Madagascar, for instance. And so on their website, what do we see? On the website, we see that they have stated the SDGs that they are serving. So they picked only 2. So again, I think they were really true about what they're doing. 9 and 17. 9, why? Because it's about industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Have they helped create new infrastructure? Yes, totally. Through mobile banking, I mean, it's really it's a new way to provide financing services and financial services to people, and to really go deep into rural areas. So yes, you cannot deny it. And then 17, partnerships for the goals. So the idea of 17 is how you work with governments, NGOs, international organizations to actually create a different and to support development schemes. So have they done that? Yes. So as you can see, once you do it, you have to be true and to be able to say, yeah, look, this is what I've done. But then you can make it a communications asset. Okay, you have a question about how to set KPIs and what tools should you use. Okay, Merrick, we're going to go into that now. I'll actually show you. I'll show you a very what we call a framework. So KPI, just to state the different steps. First, you're really going to look at what you're doing and decide which goals you are serving. So which SDGs. Then the second element, once you have your goal, is to develop a KPI, so an indicator of how you are going to prove that. So if you say, for instance, quality education, you have to define what quality means to you. So maybe it's going to be 50% or 70% of students achieve more than whatever level, let's say B grade. This is going to be your KPI. And then you're going to have the way you're assessing this KPI. So the next column will be, okay, how do I collect the data? How do you collect the data? You look at the grades. When do you do it? You do it every quarter. And then who's doing it? You have to name someone in your company who's going to do it. And then you have your frame of data collection. I'll show that to you afterwards. I have an example. Let me see if there's something else. Okay. So let's move forward together. Again, you're going to work, ladies. Sorry about that. So first, I want you to define the SDGs that your business supports. So I'm going to ask you to look at the 17 SDGs and to pick the ones that you're actively contributing to and to note them down. So this is the little wheel, but I've put them again there. It's bigger. So please pick those SDGs that your business is serving. I give you 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Donc, pour les personnes francophones, s'il vous plaît, essayez de choisir dans ces 17 SDG, je ne sais plus comment on dit en français, développement durable, ODD, dans ces 17 ODD, essayez de choisir ce que votre business, ce à quoi votre business contribue vraiment. J'insiste sur le vraiment, c'est vraiment ce que votre business fait de manière positive. Donc, pas les choses qui arrivent sur le côté, les choses que vraiment vous faites de manière intentionnelle.
Okay, we have one response so far from Adeze saying SDGs 3, 4, 5, and 8 are the ones they're contributing to actively.
Okay, so hopefully all of you managed to write elements down. Okay, 12 and 15 for Ruth. Just one point, as you select your SDGs, just know that you're encouraged to then use them on your promotional assets, on your website if you have a website, or on your Insta account if you have an Insta account. Those tiles, so those little squares, are a reference, and so you can, if you say that you're serving SDG 1 for 12, you can totally copy and paste for 12 and whatever, and put them on your social media, on your promotional elements, promotional content. Those resources are available online very easily. So if you need to copy paste the tiles, the elements. So I'll stop there. Thank you for doing the work. Now, okay, some of you have chosen 3, 4. I think you're actually quite quite sure about it. What I'm going to ask you to do later on is to really relook at what you've chosen and decide if you need to maybe trim down a little bit. So again, look at every tile, look at what they mean. I can see that Mereg did the work. So she put in the chat box SDG 2, and then she went on the web and there's a definition. So if you look at what Marek said in the chat box, you can see that for each SDG, there is a definition, and she explains how her products or her business contributes to that SDG. So this is really the idea, to make sure that you're actually doing it. So what I'll encourage you to do is to look at the ones you've decided, you've selected, to make sure that they're true. And if they're not, trimmed down, and then you have your SDGs, you have the goals that you're seeking. Again, keep them for later. And then your impact measurement and management strategy. So as I was saying a little earlier, you have to define a goal. The goal needs to be smart, so specific, measurable, achievable, time-bound. So it has to be something you can really assess yourself against. So again, saying 70% of my students will achieve a B grade by the end of 2025, that's something you can assess yourself again. It's specific, it's measurable, etc. If you say, you know, the majority of my students achieve excellence, that's not a goal, because you cannot measure. You haven't measured what majority means. You haven't said what excellence means. So this is not a goal. A goal needs to be really specific and precise. Then for each goal, you can define KPIs, as I said, and for each KPI, you can define how you're going to collect the data. Okay, maybe we're not going further today. This is a tool that you can use to do the work. So again, you're going to have a goal, you're going to define a metric, and then you're going to define how you measure this this metric, the points, the processes, who's going to go and collect the information, and then you can have an Excel spreadsheet where you actually have the outcome of the data collection. So this is an example. Maybe we can provide actually resources in the deck we were talking about. So you actually do have you know, an example to work from. I'm going to leave it 1 or 2 minutes so you can have a look at it. And if you have questions, please. And thank you, Monica, for sending the elements from people who get disconnected. Now, do you have questions about all of that? So do you have questions about the SDGs or about the table? So I'm just talking, I mean, I'm just replying to you, Marek. So we're not going to fill in the table today. The table actually asks, you know, it's a lot of work. The table is much more work than just doing it in 5 minutes. But can we provide a framework? We probably can. I'll have to check with Danielle and Moni afterwards, but I assume so. And then the idea is for you, yes, to work on that, to really have this very precise tool with you. Again, it's you know, it's otherwise it's easy to actually have elements, but not really actually do it and be committed to it. Yes, I can put the table for print screen. You're welcome. So again, if you have any more questions about it, you know, we have a few minutes left. You can totally put it in the chat box when you want.
And of course, as a reminder, we will put the slides on the Google Drive as every week, so you will be able to find the slides and also the recording of today's session.
Okay, so that's wonderful. So I'm going to finish this session, reminding you what you would be welcome to do until next week. So we're going to give you some homework, and the homework I'm going to give to you is to really reflect and fix your vision, mission, value. So whatever we have been discussing today, I would encourage you to look at it again, to see what is valid, what may need more work, and to actually do this work. Again, it's really for you. You know, I know how easy sometimes, and we all know how easy sometimes we are so busy that we don't take time to look at foundational elements like this, obviously, yet this is never time lost. I mean, we should have a session on time management. Time management is amazing. It's something that really, you know, taking time for your objectives and the long term actually helps you save time in the short term and along the way. The better you are defined, the best you'll be in your business, the more successful you'll be in your business, really. And the second element is to reflect also on your impact and identify the SDGs that you're supporting. So yes, encouraging you to look at the SDGs that you would have selected, check that you're really doing something against those SDGs, and then try to put in place the framework. It's a lot of work. You know, it's not easy to keep up to it. Yet again, having those tools in place is important, and you shouldn't have 10,000 tools. You should have one or two, but the ones you're going to pick, you need to really cling to it and fix to it. So this is the homework I'll encourage you to do for next time. I'll stop with the saying, I don't know why not. So vision without execution is an illusion. And so we've defined your vision. Next in the pathway, you look at execution. And this is how I'm going to hand it back to Daniel. Thank you so much for your participation today. So just one question from Ruth. Quels sont les défis les plus courants que les entreprises rencontrent lorsqu'il tente d'intégrer les principes ESG dans leur activité quand la meilleure pratique pour les surmonter? So what are the challenges that business meet when trying to mainstream SDGs in their activities? I really think that it's about picking the wrong ones and then being challenged for it. That's why I encourage you to be true. You cannot say you really need to be able to prove that you're doing what you say you're doing. Voilà.
There's another question.
There's another question. Daniel, can I take it? Is it fine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. En parlant de SDG qui entre... Okay, that's a very interesting point. So Mbulatin says, okay, as we talk about SDG and sustainability is one of my values because we try to do recycling. But as we do so in our production chain value, there are adverse elements. That's often the case in developing countries. The systems for recycling are not in place. So yes, you're going to try to do, if I take an example from us, we're doing drones, we're doing electric drones, but you know what? We have batteries, and batteries, if you work in remote areas, you need generators. So how can you say that, can we claim that we're doing climate mitigation? No, we don't. We've decided we would not communicate on this. You can decide that you can communicate on it, especially if the core element of your business is on recycling, but you need to be very clear about it when you communicate about it. The fact you are operating in developing or emerging countries, provoke the fact that there are elements that are going to be broken in the chain. You can just lay it down, say it, and then say that you're trying to do this element, you're contributing to it, but yet in the value chain something is adverse. But be very clear, because really the challenge and the risk is for someone to come and say, no, but you're not doing that. You're not doing that because of that, and that's very hard to mitigate. So I would say one keyword: be true and be honest about what you're doing. Thank you so much. I'll stop there. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Agnes. So ladies, just to see where we are next, we only have a couple of minutes left for today's session. So what's next? Next week, we are going to be doing our first coaching session, which will be with me. We'll be talking about leadership and influencing, because as women entrepreneurs running your own businesses, these are two skills that are so critical to developing in yourself and also developing in those around you when you start to build out your teams. So we'll be talking about leadership and influencing. I'll be encouraging you to do some self-analysis, to do some reflection, to do some sharing. And I will be sharing with you a small assessment to do in advance. So I'll give that to Christina in the next day or so to pass on via WhatsApp and also by email. And if you can do that in advance of our session, it will just be a starting point for conversation. If you're not able to do it, that's okay too, but really just try to set aside 20, 30 minutes to finish that small assessment. Just a reminder, some useful links, all of the slides and the recordings can be found in our Google Drive. The link is here on this presentation, but we'll also, Christina, can you just pop it into the chat for us again so the ladies have it? For those of you who have not yet joined us in the WhatsApp group, please do so. We would love to see you in there. I know a lot of you are starting to become active. You've shared your profiles. Please also share your social media handles and follow each other along. And as Robert said at the beginning of today's session, we will give you information in there and also share any opportunities that come across our desks that we can then pass on to you. And then finally, the Zoom link for our sessions will remain the same each and every week. So it's here for your reference, but it's the exact same one that we use today. And we will always meet on Tuesdays at the exact same time, which is 10:30 Central European time, 11:30 a.m. East Africa time. And then, of course, you all have your different time zones of where that sits in. So thank you so much for your participation today. Thank you for being vulnerable as we asked you to be at the beginning, and for being so active in the chat and sharing your vision, your mission, and your values, and also indeed your SDGs. We do appreciate that contribution. And then finally, let's connect. Also, there's the WhatsApp group, as I mentioned, there's our LinkedIn group, and there's also the YE community platform, which Christina has shared details of also. So we will see you all again next week, same time, same place. If you have questions in the meantime, feel free to put them into WhatsApp as well. We're not in there 24 hours a day responding, but when we can check in and just make sure that everyone's doing all right. Okay. So thank you, ladies. See you again next week.
Thank you very much. See you.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.